What about the dollar, Mika? The dollar
Hmm.
trying to find support here around 103.5. Are you a buyer or a seller if it rips?
Yeah, I'm a seller if it does push up, but yeah,
Okay.
dollar has had a really big sell and looks like it's finally finding support. I like how it's kind of rounding off a little bit. So 103.5 looks to be some solid support, but my expectation is that I'm expecting a lot more downside in the long term. I do think there's a good chance we could be coming back to 100 potentially. So from a swing kind of outlook, if we can pull back, that'll give me the opportunity to find some lower highs to get involved in. Not too sure if I will be able to swing it all the way down there, but that's kind of the direction I'll be looking to trade in. So,
I drew a Head and Shoulders, right? I'm drawing
mhm,
all sorts of pretty pictures this morning. So I've got a Head and Shoulders, left shoulder, head, right shoulder. Everybody gets it. The neckline here, right, breaks, and we had the big drop. The reason I wanted to show you this is that sometimes this kind of from the neckline to the head distance, I've
mhm,
seen a lot of technical traders like to take this and kind of measure out where this could go. So if we say at the break of the neckline, if we got an equal distance kind of from that Head and Shoulders peak to trough, what I thought was really interesting is it takes you right down to this key level, which I think is possibly our next step, the 102 level, if sellers take
mhm,
control. I just thought that was an interesting, symmetry. And the thing about technicals that I think is so powerful is that so often you get these symmetrical type moves. It's almost like the beauty of technical analysis is that it's sort of a self-fulfilling thing, right? It's almost like
mm,
everybody looks at the stuff, they stare at charts and they kind of find similar levels and confluence things happen and everybody kind of trades the same way. So I think that actually is very possible. That would basically be telling you that, okay, we've done this kind of move. If we do get some kind of pullback, maybe we get a pullback into this, but maybe the final kind of resting point for the dollar, maybe it's ultimately headed towards that 102 level. We'll see. But I do think I'm kind of the same camp as you. If you get a rally in the dollar, I think that may be an opportunity for sellers to uh, take back control and move this thing a little bit lower. What I find so awesome and also very cool, just in general, is that a lot of times we do these streams together, and you and I are finding similar setups. I mean, if we switch over to my screen for a second, pound and euro are straight up the two on the list, right? That's the two
mhm,
of the currency pairs that, I mean, dollar Swiss bearish, but I don't love that one because the negative swap is awful on that. But, um,
mhm.
and I know that doesn't sound like swap doesn't sound like it should play a big role, but when you do this stuff year in, year out, and swaps can seriously stack up and really run you a high cost. If I'm bullish on the dollar, I will generally avoid shorting dollar Swiss. It doesn't move a whole lot, and it also costs you a whole lot to hold short. So I'd prefer, if I'm going to get long, pound US dollar. The interest rate differential between the two is pretty little. So your cost of holding not so bad. Bullish overall reading. Um, got some retail contrarian signals. People getting really bearish on the pound dollar. Trend to the upside, and economic data has been upbeat for the UK.